Yeah, welcome to the Racer X Exhaust Podcast brought to you by Yoshimura. Go to yoshimura-rd.com for the latest four-stroke exhaust systems for whatever you ride, including that new RS12 exhaust system now available for the Yamaha YZ250F. And go to yoshimuracycling.com for information on their rapidly growing line of cycling products. At one point, they just had kits. That's clothes or gear, whatever the terminology is for cycling. Now it includes the new Choleo pedal, available in two sizes. It's a flat pedal made in the USA, and it's as high-end as flat pedals for bicycles get. So go for it. Go visit those folks. They've been supporting this podcast since day one. I am Jason Weigandt. We are unpacking news that just broke about Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, postponed now till presumably August. That's what the press release today says. The word indefinitely was used, but it's actually temporary because you're essentially looking at a 1-month delay, we hope. I certainly hope the racing comes back, and there are many, many others in this industry that hopes the racing comes back, and I'm sure you fans do as well. So we hope that there's racing in August. I wish I had some additional insider insight here, but I'm just hanging on by a thread like all of y'all. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we go racing in August. That's all I got for you. And that news actually broke right here as I was recording this episode of the Exhaust Podcast with Shane McElrath. Motocross now the focus because that's next, we hope. But there is still some news to unpack from Monster Energy Supercross, that wild and nutty 250 shootout. Sorry, they're showdowns now from Utah. So we'll get McElrath on here to tell his side of the story. In case you missed it, he was second in points coming into the race. Chase Sexton was the points leader. And McElrath needed to win and have Sexton finish worse than third to win the title, and some shenanigans broke out. Sexton said that McElrath was cutting him off in practice and trying to hurt his slow his fast laps in practice. Then there was a really weird deal with the starting gate selections in the main. We'll talk about that here with McElrath. There was a post-race fuel test, which now this just in, press release also. AMA has ruled that Sexton's fuel was fine, so that is over, but the protest was filed. And during the race, there were some shenanigans as well, with Sexton and McElrath slowing down for each other. McElrath at one point of the whole shot with Sexton with a bad start. Sexton was working his way up. A red flag came out. There was a restart. Lots of drama. So Sexton has told his side of the story. He says McElrath stole his starting gate after they picked gates. And we do know that the fuel protest was filed. So today, McElrath's chance to tell his side of the 2020 Supercross season, and then I will spring the motocross news on him because it came out as I was doing this interview, which you may have watched on Instagram Live today. Here it is as a podcast. But first, shout out to some new sponsors. MX Tech Suspension, manufacturing professional aftermarket suspension for riders who want excellent comfort and control. Their quality engineering is based on a lifetime of specializing in dirt bike suspension, and they have developed the Lucky Fork featuring dual springs, dual cartridges, Huck valves, and it's ultra lightweight. MX Tech utilizes the latest technology and coatings to deliver max performance while remaining the lightest shock available. So head over to mx-tech.com for more information. And also, this brought to you by Psychic MX, a full-range motocross brand. From engine internals to your everyday wear and tear parts, from your weekend warriors to your full-on race guys, they have everything you need. So check them out, Psychic MX, or visit your local dealer today. That's psychicmx.com, P-S-Y, Chick, C-H-I-C, MX.com. So those are our sponsors here. Of course, Racer X Online. We always have good stuff going. If you want to subscribe to the magazine, you can get it in either print or digital form. And we have an unbelievable giveaway going on right now with a Specialized Turbo E mountain bike. These things are awesome. They are super fun. They still feel like mountain bikes. They still give you a workout. You really need to try one. And what better way to try one than to own one for free? So go to racerxonline.com/Weege to enter using my code so I get more credit than Steve Mathis and Daniel Blair and anybody else, because I like to win, as does Shane McElrath. And that's McElrath's defense here, pretty much. Championship and big money was on the line. He was willing to try almost anything, didn't hurt anybody, but he was willing to bend things a bit to try to get the title. And let's talk to Shane about it. Now, just tell everybody,
I'm good now.
This is a mirror image. You're not driving the car while using the phone, right? There we go.
No, my wife's driving.
Because what happens is it reverses. It looks like you're on the left side.
Yeah. No, I've got an interview to do right now, so Joy's taking the wheel.
Okay. Being safe. First of all, the obvious question: we get outdoors coming up soon or eventually. So, are you in full grind mode for that?
Yeah, that started mid last week. It was getting back from Utah, and really, thankfully, we had about a month before the scheduled outdoor series started, which it hasn't happened since I've been racing pro.
Right.
Normally, it's 1 or 2 weekends off, so it's been quite nice to get in the flow of outdoors before having to go straight to the races from Supercross.
Yeah, that's right. That's one little advantage we had here. Because I got to say, dude, the opening outdoor rounds for you, they've not been your specialty. We've seen you have good races mid-season and late season, but it's never really started off very well.
Yeah, no, it's been tough, really. Like looking back over the last pretty much 3 years, when I felt like I should be one of the guys, it took me so long to get there. And so now this year, it's like we've made some big changes to the whole program. And now already, even through Supercross, we've been a lot more consistent. We've been a lot healthier over the longevity of the series. So I think I'm in the best position that I ever have been in my career. And so I think it's really exciting knowing, okay, I'm on this Star Racing Yamaha, that they've got a proven bike, and I feel like myself, this is where I should have been the last 3 years. But now it's like, all right, let's go out and see what we can do now that everything's working together.
All right. Well, we're hoping you get your chance. We hope we get a lot of rounds in. Who knows? As I said before you came on, COVID rates are going up, so anything could happen. But as of right now, July 18th. So I don't know if you want to, but let's reflect on Supercross here. You wanted this title bad. You put your best foot forward. You won a lot of races. It didn't come together. When you left Utah, were you like crushed emotionally, physically? What were the emotions when it was over and you come close but couldn't quite get that title you wanted?
It was tough. I mean, honestly, as a motocross racer, you win some and you lose some. And for me, honestly, Joy probably took it harder than I did, just because in terms of the championship, it's pretty much just like one long race. And I ended up second in one long race. And so it's like, okay, yeah, we could have done things a little better here and there, but for the most part, it was tough because we took a step of faith to come to this team for my last year, and it was like just no looking back. We're going to do everything we can, and I felt like that's what we did, and unfortunately we came up a little short, but at the same time, that was the closest I'd ever been, and we learned and grew so much over the season that it's hard to let that second place take away from everything else that happened that was good.
Makes
but
sense.
It was hard.
Sense. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's get your side of the story here. So much stuff went down, red flags, starting gate deal, a fuel protest. I don't know which one you want to tackle first, but you need to get your chance to explain your side because Chase has told his champions get to do that. So first, let's just talk about the red flag deal. Happened twice. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, that's probably the most disappointing part is, I mean, everybody knows in this sport, regardless of what class, what championship, what manufacturer, it's like you need a little bit of luck also to win a championship. And that was the bummer part about not only one red flag, but two. It was like we for me, we were in the perfect position before those red flags. And not only did they it was like they fully favored Chase. And that was the hard part. It's like, dude, I feel like we're doing everything that we can, and we were in a good position, but then it was like Chase got a redo pretty much. And so that was the hardest part, knowing like, dude, this is the same thing that happened just 2 weeks ago. And it's like, for me, it was frustrating, but I mean, both times I pretty much replicated what I did, like first start to second start. Like I felt like I did everything really good. It really worked in Chase's favor. So it was like, honestly, that was probably the biggest like what if moment or two moments of the whole series, because everything was like in a perfect position, and then it's like, nope, we're gonna restart it. So it was a bummer, but at the same time, I mean, things happen. People crash, and unfortunately with Brian Moreau, with him getting hurt at Tampa, that was handled not the way it should have been, and now they've been kind of extra on their red flags or their caution flags or whatever. So it's definitely changed a little bit this year, but I mean, it's not something that I blame anybody else for. It's just like, you know what, we got to line up and we got to do it again. So it was just like almost laughable when it happened the second time, because it's like, you've got to be kidding me. Like,
yes.
It's same exact thing. So it was, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that had to be a bummer. But yeah, at least it didn't completely wreck you. You did go out and get the start again. But speaking of starts, can you explain this starting gate thing? There was an empty starting gate. Nichols didn't end up racing because he got hurt in the heat. Sexton said that you picked his gate. You rolled into the gate. He picked, not you. How did that all work? What's your side of the start gate thing?
Honestly, it's pretty funny, because it's really brought out like the true colors of people. Dude, people have been hating on me. It's also laughable, because it's like, dude, I mean, there's $500,000 on the line, and you think I'm just gonna give it to somebody? Like, that's the part that a lot of people don't understand. But the starting gate thing is the first two, our first three races, we just got to go one by one and pick our gate. And it's like, okay, that's how we do it. Well, then when the West Coast race, they started using these little flags, and maybe it helped speed things up. Maybe it didn't. I don't really know. But, I mean, you go up and you would pretty much reserve your gate. Well, I mean, I had a better gate pick than Chase, and so when it was my turn to pick the gate, I knew what gate Chase wanted, and it was the one right inside of me. And it wasn't bad, but I took a gamble on, okay, I can take this gate or this gate, and Chase wanted to go right inside of me, and I'm like, well, I mean, I have a better gate pick, so I can take his, and there's nothing wrong with that. There wasn't anything bad that I did. It wasn't illegal. It was just, I have a better gate pick, so I went to the one that he had reserved. So it wasn't it was just a spur of the moment thing. Like, well, I mean, that's the first time all year that Chase has actually like started right on the inside of me. And even when I was picking my gate, I'm like, that one's not bad, but the original one I picked might have been a little better. But I was like, I'm just not going to give Chase that edge to maybe try something. So it's like, I'll just take the gate, and he had to go somewhere else. But I mean, that's really all there was to it. Was I had a better gate pick. And I mean, unfortunately for him, he kind of he let me know what gate that he wanted. And normally, without the flags, even before we started using the flags, I wouldn't have known that. So it was just one of those things where it's like, well, I mean, I'm not just gonna give it to him. So I'll just take his gate. And now I've been, why are you stealing his gate? But dude, I had first gate pick. So, I mean, honestly, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, because I guess, look, it's not like you can look in the rule book either way, because this idea of grabbing flags and planting a flag behind a gate was just done for these Utah races, and I didn't know, only for the final Utah races. The first couple, you didn't even do that. So there's probably nothing in the rule book that says either way you have to go where you planted your flag or not, right? Because I heard Sexton and his mechanic asked the AMA, and there was not anything that could be done like that quickly, at least.
Yeah, and because Starling's dad came up to me. He's like, hey, they said you kicked another rider's flag out of the way. It's like, I didn't touch his flag. And he just said, okay.
No.
And that was it. But, I mean, that kind of goes back to the thing, like, really on race day, on Sunday, it was like I felt like that was the first race day all year where I really did do everything that I could. And it's like, I mean, I didn't just like give it to Chase that day. I mean, that day he had to work for it. And so I'm happy with everything I did on Sunday. Nothing I did was wrong. Nothing I did was dangerous or put him in danger. And it's like, I mean, people can say what they want, but again, I mean, if we're racing for the championship, absolutely not. I'm not just going to let you go right by me. I'm not going to let you have everything that you want to have. Like that's not how it's going to go.
Yeah. So then we had like midway through the race.
At the end of the, and at the end of the day, I got beat. And that's, like I said, I mean, it was a bummer that we got beat, but I got beat. Like that's, second place is not first. And Chase straight up beat me a few times throughout the year. And it's not anything against him. I mean, there were days where he was better, and that's how it goes sometimes.
So, yeah, like midway through the race, it looked like you slowed up, then he slowed up, and then you're both going super slow. Was that like Tomac tried this a few years ago? You needed guys between you? Were you hoping to get guys between you? Because if you won and he finished second, he still wins the title. So was that the strategy there to try to get guys in the pack in there?
Honestly, I didn't really know what to do when he let me back by. I was like,
but did you let him by? Did you let him by, or did he just pass you?
Well, no, I didn't mean to do that. So in between the restarts, they watered the track. And so Jet Lawrence and myself, on the first lap, we almost lost our front ends going into one of the 90s because they had watered the track. Well, before the restart, where Chase passed me before the long rhythm, I was going inside right there, like inside, on, off, and then triple and finish out the rhythm. Well, I tried to do that on the first lap after the restart, and I missed the whole rhythm because it was too slippery. Like I wasn't even able to get onto the tabletop. Well, when Chase let me by, I'm like, well, shoot, I thought he just didn't want to be ahead of me. And I mean, I'm not going to do anything to, like I said, yeah, there's a lot of money on the line, but I'm not going to try and hurt somebody just to win. So it's like, yeah, I may race you hard, but I mean, I thought in the moment, I thought Chase didn't want me behind him. So then I was like, okay, well, I'll kind of like take it easy a little bit to see if he'll just pass me back. Well, when I went through that rhythm, or I went into that rhythm, I went to the inside, and I thought that it was going to be dry enough to stay to the inside because I knew Chase had just let me by, and I didn't know what he was going to do. So it's like, okay, well, I kind of need to guard my inside a little bit too. And I got wheel spin there, and I still wasn't able to jump onto the first table, and he just greased the rhythm and pretty much left me. So it wasn't on purpose. Like I honestly didn't really know what to do. Like once he let me by, because I'm like, wait, why is he just giving it to me? Like it was one of those Like, I mean, I'm there to race, and when we weren't gonna race, I'm like, wait, so what are we doing? So that kind of threw me off a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So neither time where he passed you, you were not letting him pass you. You messed up the rhythm lane twice. That's how come he got
No.
by. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then finally there was a fuel protest. I mean, the rider doesn't usually log that. Do you know anything about that?
Actually, I'm the one that had to pay for it.
Oh,
so
really?
It was, yeah. So it was, I didn't know it at the time, but after word got out that there was a protest, there were people saying like, dude, we heard about his fuel last week. Like our team had heard something about getting a shipment of fuel in, like not long after we got to Utah. And so I didn't know that, but they came to me after the race and they're like, hey, there's not a very good chance, but there is a little chance that they could be running illegal fuel. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's $1,800. So they were like, we have the money, we can do it right now. And you can just pay us back. And so it's like, you know what? We've done everything else we could today. So let's just do it. And I mean, if it's not illegal, like, dude, that's fine. I'm not really holding my breath for it to be illegal. I mean, again, Chase beat me. Chase rode great all year. And yeah, I mean, I got second, but if it comes back that they were running illegal fuel and they cheated, then it's like, then we get the championship and we get a better bonus, but I'm not really holding my breath on that. So it's like, with doing that, it was one of those things like you don't want to live and not know. Yeah. So it's like, well, I mean, if we got beat straight up, we got beat straight up. If not, then that's kind of on them.
Yeah. So, you did get beat up for sure over all these things. Cause again, Chase got to tell his side. Do you look back now and you're like, man, I'm getting some heat from people. I wish I hadn't done any of these things. Or is it like, hey man, I was racing for a title and whatever people think is what they're going to think. But do you have any regrets about the way any of it went?
Absolutely not. It was honestly my best year yet. And I mean, people are saying, oh, you failed. Oh, you suck. You should just retire. And it's like, dude, I got second place. I made good money. I learned, and we get to race again. So it's like, where exactly am I in the wrong in all those things? So it's honestly, I've learned even before this year not to really worry about what people think, but to see how butthurt people are that I was trying to race and I was trying to do everything I could to win. I mean, that just shows more about their character than it does mine. So I'm not really worried too much about it. I'm happy with my effort. And I mean, we had a great year of growth, not only mentally and physically, but also spiritually. Like we came here on a hope and a prayer, like, all right, we're comfortable. We're going to get uncomfortable, and whatever that brings. And so it brought a lot of haters, that's for sure.
I will chalk it up to this. You didn't try to hurt anybody, and it is competition. So it's supposed to be competitive. It's possible to try to compete. You were trying to find a way to compete.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, dude, I've been racing for 7 years. I mean, there's still some young kids that ride like idiots, and they don't really hold back in situations, and they're not afraid to kind of hurt themselves or others. But I think it's more of a maturity thing. And it's like, for me, yeah, I believe I can win. I put it on myself that I should win, but it's like, I mean, dude, there's a lot of other good guys out there. And I mean, I'm not going to hurt somebody just to finish one position better or something. And that's the thing with the last round, especially after the restart, is it didn't matter if I got first or second. Like, when Chase was up there, there was nothing I could do to, like, whether I won or got second. So that was, I mean, yeah, maybe if I would have been ready to kind of, for him to let me by and like, okay, well, let's try to do the thing Tomac did where you hold people up. And it's like, that was kind of what people asked me. Why didn't you try and hold them up? I didn't really think of slowing down during a race to hold people up. So it's, it's a bummer, but at the same time, like, there were so many things and situations that we were in for the first time that I've ever been in. And it's like, I really did what I could in the moment, and I don't have any regrets.
There you go. Okay, now I think you've pointed out the class. You just got to let the dice roll here and see what happens. We got outdoors, of course, first, and you'll be on a 250 with this team for sure. Do you have any idea what comes next?
Yep. We're still living on a hope and a prayer. I mean, we've done the best that we could this year.
Yep.
And I mean, I think it really showed too. I mean, we're here to race and to do our job and to be a light in this industry and in the situations that we're in. And unfortunately, like, just how Supercross ended, it's like I put it on myself, like, have to win. And I mean, I was on the podium every round but one, and that was because I fell twice. So, I mean, results wise, I was right there, and there were just a few races where I was a little bit off, and that's kind of what cost me. And so, going forward to outdoors, it's like, you know what, let's just keep going. We are making really good progress, and 450 wise, there's not many options, but at the same time, like, we're going to try to do our best and really just try to honor the Lord and who we are. And I mean, we love to race, but when we have to race for free, it no longer becomes a job, it becomes a hobby. And so then we'll kind of have to figure something else out. So it's, I mean, there's a lot up in the air. There's a lot that we're unsure of. And I mean, just like everybody else, we can't really plan on the future. I mean, even with racing right now, nobody may be racing next year, but I mean, that's kind of the reality of it. But other people have guaranteed contracts for next year, and we don't. And at this point, we're kind of okay with it because we've did what we could, and if something comes up, it comes up.
Yeah, there's a long time between now and then. And look, so let's see. You faced the music here. I asked about the gate, the fuel, the middle of the race slowing down, the red flags pointing out of the 250 class. And now I've got news. They have literally just announced, like, I'm talking like 3 minutes ago, they are not racing on July 18th. Now the outdoors is postponed indefinitely. They say they're going to race, but you might have the day off of motoing down tomorrow.
Yep.
Because we're not 2 weeks away. I don't even know if you know this. Are we getting this live now?
I heard the rumor last night about it.
Yep.
And that they were supposed to have a meeting today.
Yep.
But I will still be at Glen Helen tomorrow afternoon, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stopwatch Nationals. Stopwatch Nationals continue.
That's right. Yeah.
When you heard the rumor, did you try to get out of it?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's because Swanee called me last night. He's like, hey, so I don't know if you know this or not, but like I've heard rumors that outdoors are being pushed back. He said, I called Will. Will called Davey Coombs and said there's a good possibility that that's going to happen. And it's just like, dude, I mean, I honestly, I don't know what to think about it because it's like a tease almost. Like we're working, but for us to hold this tempo for now even longer, it's tough.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely have some feelings of my own when it comes to this. This is definitely not news people wanted to hear. You had told me during the break during Supercross for COVID that you were considering becoming, DoorDash delivery guy. I don't know, man. Maybe dust it off here for a month.
Yeah. No, I'm really last night and this morning, I'm just sitting there thinking like, all right, I could get, what could I sell some of the stuff I have for? What little things could I pick up that fit in and around my training schedule? Because for me, I like to do things, but at the same time, like, I mean, what we've heard is right now they have 3 confirmed outdoors, and so if that goes through, then how many teams are going to be willing to do those 3 outdoors, and how many aren't?
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, at this point, we kind of need to have a backup plan almost. Like, okay, well, I mean, for us in the 250 class, like we have savings, but we're not really set up like for retirement right now. So, yeah. I mean, for us, I'm only 25. My wife's only 25 also. So it's like, okay, well, I mean, we can either sit here and wait on something to come around, or we can go out and do something and fill some gaps. And I think that we're more of the latter type of people. So we'll just kind of see how it goes.
All right. Well, look, hey, I'll give you credit for this. I gave you like 8 hard questions and you answered them all. So I give you credit for that.
Hey, I'm here. I mean, that's the biggest thing is I'm here to be honest. I don't want to put on a front. I don't want to make things seem like they're better than they are, or they're worse than they are. And there's always 2 sides to things. And I truly don't care to look like the bad guy, because people are going to have their opinions. But thanks for letting me tell my side. And if people think I'm a bully or I'm mean and I should just move over, then they can go kick rocks. They can stay at home on their couch. That's what they can do.
Okay, there you go. I have a feeling from you that's about as gnarly as you're going to get. Yeah. That's about as gnarly as you're going to get saying something.
Yep.
Yeah, keeping it clean. All right, Shane. Well, thanks.
It's not worth my breath otherwise. Yeah.
Okay. Enjoy the motos at Glen Helen tomorrow anyway.
And thanks for the opportunity.
All right, man. Enjoy riding tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you.
So there you have it from Shane McElrath, both admitting that, yes, he was the one that paid the money and filed the fuel protest. Yes, he took the gate that Chase Sexton selected. McElrath does have the first gate pick, but he picked a gate, then he switched to take Sexton's gate. But as you heard me say, I don't know if there's anything anyone can do about that, because I don't even know if the rulebook addresses gate selections based on putting a flag in the dirt, because that was just a special deal that they came up with in Utah. That's not normally how the racing works. So he did switch gates. He has the first gate pick. I don't know if that necessarily means you're allowed to switch gates after you pick one. But honestly, it's just competition, dude. He was just trying to do everything he could to win. And it'd be nice. I suppose the nice thing to do would not do any of that. But as he said, there's $500,000 on the line, and I cannot guarantee I wouldn't have tried some shenanigans if I were in that situation either. And Sexton ended up winning anyway, so it didn't mess it up. But you could think whatever you want to think of Shane. That's your call, not mine. I'm just glad he came on here and was able to address that and didn't try to duck it. And he did say that he got beat. He did say he got beat. He wasn't trying to deny that much. So I suppose that puts a close now officially on Supercross. We've discussed everything else. Nothing else to talk about in 250 West because Fortner crashed out. That was that. And we've talked about Eli Tomac's championship to no end. Will he get another one? When will it start? That's going to be the news to follow now. Lucas Oil Pro Motocross saying they will start in August. That's the plan, not July. They are not saying that they are not going to start at all. And I sure hope that they will start. And certainly the industry, the fans, everybody, and yes, MX Sports, who runs those races, they do want to hold them. that's all I got for now. Hopefully it happens. So thanks for listening. Thanks to Yoshimura, our title sponsor. Go to yoshimura-rd.com and yoshimuracycling.com for all the information on their exhaust systems and their new line of cycling stuff. And we got more. Oh, geez, I'm yawning. That's terrible. That is terrible radio. We have more interviews coming. We really were able to have a lot of good interactions with the riders during the break when Supercross wasn't racing. And lo and behold, we're going to get more in now because the break between Supercross and Motocross just got a whole lot bigger. Thanks for listening.